What's happening, everybody? It is Thursday night. It is Thrifty Business with Jay and Nay. I am your host, Vegas Jay, and with me, as always... Oh, are you kidding me? I actually had a live one going after we just talked about it. And with, as always, is my co-host, Philly Nay. But wait, that does not look like Philly Nay. That's Nay's stunt double, Joy Williams. But wait, here's Philly Nay.
Hi,
She's actually with us tonight. Oh, my gosh.
I just got out of the hospital just a few hours ago.
What are you doing here, girlfriend?
I was determined to be here, but Joy is going to be hosting for me. So
yes, even though we don't know what's going on with Joy, her name is digitized, but it says Nadine Stunt Double. So she is your stunt double tonight. She will do the heavy lifting. You can do the light lifting tonight. So we're going to get to you in 1 second, but let's get right to our normal first item of the night. As always, it is Jay's Tiki Talk. Woohoo! Oops, I need to lock me in there. There we go. It is Jay's Tiki Talk tonight. Bow, 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 bow. All right, so in honor of the 4th of July, I actually have a red, white, and blue tiki mug. So we can find it so you actually can see it. There we go. Burp, burp, burp. This, when I bought it, I thought it was a hobbyist mug, because this is the kind of thing you don't normally see in tiki bars. Hobbyists would make these. But if you look real close on the bottom, there's an imprint of where it came from. It was a place called the Tiki. So at some point, they made a very special red, white, and blue, I'm guessing for the 4th of July tiki mug. So let me take a little sip, and then I'll share with you what I'm drinking. That's good stuff. I am drinking, because it is Independence Day weekend, I'm drinking rum made in the United States. So this is called Below Deck. It is made in Portland, and they actually hand number it. So this is batch number 7, bottle number 347, and it is a hell of an awesome spiced rum. It's way different than Sailor or Captain. It is spicy, so it's good stuff. If you're in Portland, pick up a bottle. Do yourself a favor. You will really, really like this. So tonight I'm just having it with my usual Diet Coke and a lime. I'm having a American Cuba Libre tonight. And because, of course, Nay cannot drink tonight because she's on other kind of fun stuff.
I have water, yes.
Joy does have a cocktail. What you got there, Joy?
I do. I'm not a big rum drinker, so I made a special trip to get a little rum, which isn't the greatest rum. It's just a little Captain. But to soothe Jason, who, has a better rum palate, I ran around town today until I found the right mixer.
Move it over a little bit. There you go.
There we go.
Back over.
There's a little lag on my end. I don't know which way I'm going.
There you go, right there.
I am sharing a Coke and rum with Jason. I don't know if you can see that on your side.
That is so sweet. She found a Jason Coke.
That is awesome.
I went to 3 stores and dug through 67 bottles of Coke till I found it.
All right, so we want to give Nay a second to talk here. She wants to sit on the whole show. Joy's going to do the segments tonight, but if Nay is not feeling well, she is going to skedaddle, so I'm going to let her talk first. So, Nadine, the floor is yours, my dear.
Okay. I just wanted to say thank you. My voice is a little scratchy because of the breathing tube they had, and I actually lost my voice for a little bit. I just literally got out of the hospital a few hours ago. They wanted me to stay another night, but I wanted to be on the show, so I am here. So as most of you know, I had a double mastectomy on Monday, and they did actually find invasive cancer in my lymph nodes. So I will be going through, I have a long road ahead. I'll be going through chemo, and then I have reconstructive surgeries to go through. So unfortunately, my fight is long from being over. However, I just wanted to thank everyone for the kind words. It's been really overwhelming. I've seen so many positive thoughts and just so much support from from everyone. When I was in the hospital, I had my iPad with me, and I was reading all the comments and everything, and it was really helpful. So I just wanted to thank everyone, and I'm still going to kick cancer no matter how bad it ends up being. I'm going to beat it. So thank you, everyone.
Yes, you are.
And thank you, Joy, for hosting tonight. I am on some pretty strong pain medicine, so I couldn't actually host the show tonight, but I did want to be here. So thank you, Joy, for being my stand-in.
I'm honored to be asked to be your stunt double. And you look beautiful.
Thank
you're
you.
going to kick cancer's ass. And
Yes,
I'm so
I
glad
am.
you're here hanging out with us.
I am too. It's glad to be here. Thank you.
Alrighty, so we are going to let Nadine just chill and watch the show. And what do we always do at the top of the show? We do our scores of the week.
Yay!
Yay! All right, let me see who I got loaded up here first. I guess I will go first because I am loaded up first. So here we go. So here's my score. Now, if you watched our first official episode where Nay and I were in Philly, you will recognize this score, and it is already sold. This is the Harl Taylor purse that I bought with Nadine at Philly Aids Thrift for $7 whole. I did not actually sell it for $169. I sold it for $142. Woohoo!
Woohoo!
And that was maybe it was listed like 3 days. I got a oh yeah, I listed it on Thursday. On Friday, I got a $105 offer, and I let it sit. I was going to wait to counter, and I did finally counter at $150. And about maybe 2 hours later, another guy came with an offer of $142. So I took it. So it was a quick turnaround. All Harl Taylor bags sell well. They don't look like much, but people want them. So make sure.
I was shocked when you looked that up when we were in the thrift store, and then you found the tag inside the bag, which made it even better.
Yep.
So that was an awesome. That's great.
So keep your eyes open for anything Harl Taylor. So that was my one score of the week. And my next score of the week, now this is based on the price you're seeing, it does not look like a score. But I'm going to show you something, and then you'll understand why it's really a score. So I'm going to turn off the screen share here for a minute, and I'm going to show you what I'm holding in my hands. As soon as I can figure out why my mouse is not working. What is happening? Oh, there we go. All right. So when I went to the Riviera liquidation sale, I got all these Riviera patches total for $10. So this is a pack of 150 Riviera Hotel patches, and then a whole box of other Riviera stuff. And so I've sold one group of 3 for 10 and one group of 4 for 20. So I'm already in my profit, and I still have hundreds and hundreds of patches waiting to be sold. So it will be just pure profit from here on in. So I'm going to keep throwing up these foursomes for $20. I have some other ones in here that are a little bit different, but that was a score because it is the gift that keeps on giving. I can just keep hitting relist. Alrighty, those are my 2 scores. Now we are into Joy's scores, so you are up, Joy. You go.
So I don't buy a lot of books in thrifts, but we see people in the Thrifting with the Boys Facebook page talk about Bibles all the time. And this one caught my eye, and I paid 79 cents for it. And it's a Sunday Missal, and it's written in both Latin and English. And this Fulton J. Sheen in 1961, there's a few versions, this one being the lowest end version of it. The others are gold gilded. And I listed it, and I immediately had 3 watchers. And within 4 days or so, I had 5 or 6 watchers, and I sold it for, I think I took a best offer. Maybe I put it on sale but around $40 for a 79-cent book. So,
that's a nice return, 79 cents to $40.
And it went international. It went to Canada. It went to a pastor in Canada who paid shipping. Even better.
That is definitely even better. And then here is another score of yours. Now, before you talk about it, did you try taking a picture on a dark background? Because I think it would have looked better.
I tried to take that picture on everything I could think of,
Okay.
and it just was not working. And I thought that the one on the white background, as awful as it was, showed the Starbucks logo just a tiny bit more than the other background. So I thought, you know what, I'm gonna go with it. So I went with it, and what it is it's a glass Starbucks, essentially almost a pint glass size, but it's marked for the tall, grande, and venti size. It's a cold drink mixing cup with the right measurements on it, and there was only one other previous completed which had sold around the same price that I had sold, and I only had it up maybe a couple of weeks before it sold, and I bought that at Goodwill for 99 cents.
Yeah, even with the white, because I was going to suggest that. You're right. That's a tricky one to photograph.
It was terrible, and nothing that I could do would make it better. So
I like that shot because you can kind of see how it's raised a little bit.
I probably took 80 pictures of this glass, and I thought, okay, I'm cutting into my profit now because I've spent an entire Sunday afternoon trying to get a good picture here. And the truth is that eventually, if you put the words rare and Starbucks together, somebody's going to stumble upon it. So I went with it. And, you know, it was just in the glass section at Goodwill, and I paid 99 cents for it. And I'd never seen one before, as many Starbucks mugs as we've researched.
I haven't seen the glasses like that either. That was a cool find.
Now, what I recommend instead of paper towels for two reasons is milk, because it's more flat, and then you have some cookies with you. So as soon as you're done photographing, you just have some milk and cookies.
I love any excuse to eat cookies, so I'm going to start going with that from now on.
All right, so now it looks like, oh, geez, we're on Jason's Facebook page, which kind of we are, but Joy wanted to share this because she bought this teddy bear. Sorry about that. That looks a little dirty. Safe to say?
He's a dirty bear. He was a dirty bear. But
not atrocious, but definitely not clean.
Yeah, if that came out of a child's room and into the Goodwill bin, somebody should call child services because it was not good. But he was in the Goodwill bin for 49 cents, and I had previously at the same Goodwill last year found the same bear, and he's a Chosen heart beating bear, and he has a red heart, and it has a heartbeat. It runs on batteries, and they were big in the 80s. And so I put him in the bathtub. I gave him a washing. I like Dawn dish soap for that. And let him dry, and sold him for $40.
Now, what you did was fine, obviously, because he looks great. But when you have quality plush that does not have any mechanical parts or Nula tags, you can throw them in the washing machine and hang dry, and they are beautiful.
Absolutely, and you know, my reason for throwing him in the bathtub is purely that I live in a condo that I pay for my laundry.
Oh, yeah. I wasn't even thinking of that. My bad.
I don't like to wash my eBay laundry with other laundry. You know, with stuffed animals can sometimes have bugs and whatnot. And so I don't like to run a load. And I only had the one thing to wash. And I thought, you know, I'm just going to throw him in the tub and I'm going to scrub him up. And he sold for $40.01. I think I had him on sale. But this bear, depending on its condition, goes anywhere from $40 to $85 used. So he's definitely one to look for, and don't be afraid of dirty plush.
I think that was the name of my band in high school, the Dirty Plush. All right, now we got your Sony Walkman up there.
So I almost never, ever, ever buy anything out of the case. And the case is the last thing that I look at. I have a route when I go through Goodwill, and the case is usually the last thing that I look at. And for whatever reason, I looked in the case first. And I saw this, but I couldn't see the price tag no matter which way I, you know, turned around. So I had them open the case. And while I was waiting for them to get the key, I looked it up, and it sells everywhere from $140 to $279. So I knew if the number on that pink Goodwill tag was good, it was coming home with me. And it was marked $19.99. And it was scratch-off day. And I said, wrap it up, let's get it. So my scratch-off card happened to be 20% off. So I paid $18 for it. And what happened was that I normally would have put them in my cart and done the whole store. And I thought, you know what, people at this store have a tendency to take things out of your cart. So I'm going to go ahead and pay for it. And I'm going to go put it in my car. So I paid for it, and I went and put it in my car, and I came back in the store, and they made an announcement. I always pay with my PayPal debit card. They made an announcement their credit card machine was down, and they would only be accepting cash for the rest of the day. So had I waited to pay for it at the end of the store, at the end of the day, I would have missed out because I had no cash on me. And I sold it 4 hours after I listed it for $125.
Wow.
That is awesome.
I know people would say you could have gotten a lot more if you'd have waited, but to me, in 4.5 hours, because I list everything when I bring it home, 4.5 hours for, roughly $100 profit, I'm going to go with that.
Joy, I see a question in the chat about the heart and the bear. It does detach.
It does detach.
Wanted to know if it was detachable.
The heart comes out. He has a zipper on his side. Under his clothes are removable, and he has a zipper on the side, and that heart does come out. The pouch that the heart fits in is a little tight, and so you kind of have to maneuver it to get it in and out. But it does come out, and it comes in just a couple different colors. It comes in yellow and pink and sort of a teal blue.
Okay, so you had to take this. Obviously, you took it apart before you.
I took it apart before I washed it, and when you list them, you always want to say if the heart is beating, you want to put that in your title that it's working.
Okay.
If you only ever find the heart and it beats, buy it. Because they wear out over the years.
Okay.
And some people, the heart keeps beating, but the dog chews the leg off. So even if you find them without both parts, absolutely buy them.
Great tip. Thank you.
All right, you have seen our scores. Now it's time for... our duds of the week, because not everything is a winner. We all have mistakes. Here's mine that I've actually asked my group for help on. I changed some things around, and still nobody cares. I know Jason Giambi ended up embroiled in a scandal of steroids, but geez, for $25, I got this nice batting practice jersey from the Yankees. I'm like, come on, people. Where's all these Yankee fans? I bought it on the show, so I've had it for over a year already, and still nothing. So this is my loser. I can't sell this Jason Giambi jersey to save my life. And I think I had one other loser. Oh, yeah, so I bought this on the show, too. Now, this where a little bit of research would have helped me. I did not realize that this pitcher was supposed to come with 4 glasses. And I did a quick research, missing the fact that the ones that had sold had the glasses with them. So I'm like, oh, I got a sweet thing. I get home and realize, nope, I'm missing half the product. So this also has been sitting. It's a cool vintage Zenith, pitcher for cocktails or water or whatever. But nobody cares. Burr, burr, burr.
Did you sell that for the full $34.99, or did you take a best offer on it?
No, I didn't sell it. It's one of my duds. It's just sitting around.
Oh, that wasn't sold. Okay. I didn't realize.
My last 2 things are unsold. And look, page views, 263. Wow. No one's even made an offer. Come on, people. Make me an offer.
I thought it was a sold item. I was going to say that wasn't too bad, but yeah.
All right, so here, now we're on to Joy's duds.
This one breaks my heart. I hear people talk about amber glass and vintage amber glass and ashtrays and whatnot, and I found this at Savers. It was $1.99. It's beautiful. There's not a chip in it. There's not a scratch. It weighs almost 3 pounds, and it has been in my store, I think, for almost a year now, and I cannot give this beautiful ashtray away at any price. I've had it everywhere from $25 to $15.99. Maybe I'll pick up a watcher now and again, but I can't give that ashtray away. And I just think it's fantastic. If you like the amber glass or the mid-century modern, nobody cares.
Somebody said, Jason, change up your title on the picture. Just, what do you think, Paul? Rearrange the words? I mean, I'm stumped on that one. But I'm always open for suggestions, so yeah, hit me up. Now this one, based on the price you have, would not think to me as a dud.
Here's the thing. I found this sweater in the late fall. It's ugly sweater party time, and I thought, this is a major score. This is vintage. It's Peanuts. It's Snoopy. It's Woodstock. I mean, ugly sweater party. This is perfect, and I paid, I think, $3.69 for it. And one had previously sold in the same size, because medium can be a tough sell, for $125, about 2 months before I found this one. So I listed mine at $125. It has been on sale as much as half off You know, I've had it for as little as $49. Nobody cares about this sweater. Like, I can't give it away. And I'm hoping now, you know, Peanuts are coming back and we're going to have movies, and that at some point somebody's going to want this sweater, but I'm actually shocked that it's still hanging around.
It's surprising. Usually Peanuts sells quickly. But,
I don't know. Am I doing
wonder if
something
there's
wrong?
something
I don't
that-
know.
I don't know. I wonder if maybe you should pop it into our group and see if anyone has any suggestions on.
Well, somebody just reminded us there's a new Snoopy movie coming out this year, so don't give up on it.
No, don't. Yeah, maybe that'll.
And actually, I had marked it down for a while. I had it, I think maybe, you know, I don't like to store a lot of clothes for a long time. I don't have a lot of storage space, so I thought, you know, I'm done with this sweater now. And I had it really marked down. And then when the Peanuts movie chatter started, I thought, well, if there's ever a time I'm going to get what was previously gotten for this sweater, the time is now. So I bumped the price back up.
All right, we have done our scores, we have done our duds, and now it's time for our close encounters of the thrifty kind, and I will go first. There is a swap meet here in Vegas. We don't have any flea markets. It sucks because I love flea markets, but we have a swap meet called Broad Acres, and it's more new socks and oranges than used stuff. There is used stuff, and I do find some gems, but it's a lot of new stuff. And one time I was looking at some clothing, and I typically wear a 2X, and the woman said, "Are you a 3X or a 4X?" And I said, "Well, I'm a 2X, and I think you just called me fat." And she said, "No, you're not fat. You're husky," which I then said, I have not been called husky since I was a fat little kid. So thank you very much. And I ended up still buying the shirt from her, even though she called me fat. So that's my close encounters of the thrifty kind. All right, Joy, what's yours? Did you come up with a good one?
I did, you know, several months ago, and this is one of the exceptions to my rule about when I list things. I was at Goodwill and I saw this clock on a bottom shelf, and Goodwill was packed, and people were walking past this thing, and I pulled it out, and it's this great, fantastic wooden clock, but the top half of it is a needlepoint, and it's like this bicentennial sort of needlepoint. It's got the seal on it. It's just the coolest thing I've ever seen. But the clock mechanism, which is fairly, you know, modern, maybe 70s, whenever, wasn't working. And replacing those kind of things is not my forte. So I called my thrifting partner in crime, Christine Larson, and I said, I think I can leave this thing behind. It's only $10 and it's so cool. What do I do? And she said, hey, I'll throw you $5. I'll replace it. You list it and we'll split it. Okay, great. So while we're talking, I have this thing in my cart. And all of a sudden, people are congregating around me, like a crowd of people. And they're like, that's so cool. Can I see it? Does it work? Are you going to buy that? Da, 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 da. And at one point, I had about 11 or 12 people crowding around trying to get at this clock. And it got to the point where I said, you know what? I'm going to have to leave the store with this clock. And I said, I got to get out of here, because there were people who were literally following me through the store just in case I put it down.
Oh, yes.
I mean, you know, we all run into what I call the gimme that gang, the people who want what's in your cart, but this was something I had not experienced before, where it was a gaggle of people trying to get my clock.
See, we call that, in Vegas, we call that cart envy. And it's usually people looking at my cart going, oh, I wish I had that. And my friend Cheryl, who used to be my assistant, said, they got cart envy. I'm like, oh, that's the term, cart envy. There it is.
Eyes on your own cart, people.
Yep.
Can I ask you a quick question, Jason?
Yo.
You mentioned a swap meet, and we don't call that. We don't have swap meets here. I've never heard that term before. You know, people out there in your area started using it. What is the difference? You said it's different than a flea market. I thought they were synonymous. What is the difference?
So the swap meet here is mainly Mexican. So when Stace and I go, we're the minority, and so they're selling produce, oranges, socks, mattresses. You can get cell phones, but then there's a few booths scattered in and amongst that have used stuff. You can ride a pony, you know, it's that kind of thing. So it's not a true
it's kind of like a flea market, though.
Well, kind of, with a lot of, you know, stuff that none of us would be looking for. Like, I don't need to buy oranges and brand new socks. I just don't.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Not that there's anything wrong with it, but, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the scores. All right, now it is time for the Thrifty Tip of the Week. And I'll go first, and here's my tip. When you're in any section of the thrift store and you still see things that are new and sealed, if it's something that's very common, though, pause and think. This is the first Trivial Pursuit, so basically Genus 1. And, the game's been out for 40 years now. But sealed, it sells for a ton of money. So if you look at the sales on eBay right now, open sell for like 12 to 13, sealed sell for like 30. And I've sold a sealed one on Amazon through FBA for 80. So the tip is keep your eyes open for sealed stuff. But I will tell you the one thing that Chris Green taught me that I never even thought about, if you can't, maybe you got some bad eyesight and you can't differentiate between sealed and not, he turns his flashlight on his camera and just kind of walks down the games, and it'll reflect more off of the cellophane. So even if there's too much stuff and you're having a hard time figuring it out, throw your camera on, walk on down, and you will see the reflection off of a sealed game very, very easily. And that's my tip. All right, Joe, you're up.
So my tip is, and we see people say this sometimes in the groups, do not be scared off, do not be fooled by peeled up price tags. This is particularly true when you're buying glassware or dishes. See, people will say sometimes, oh, somebody else already peeled this price tag up and looked at the maker's mark and they left it behind, so it's not any good. One of my very first good flips were these Fornasetti coasters. They were made in Italy for a department store, a high-end department store in Los Angeles that's no longer there. And I paid 49 cents a piece for them, and I sold them for $115. And they had their price tags peeled up. I bought another plate at another Goodwill for 99 cents. Somebody had peeled it up, looked at the maker's mark. I sold it later on for $60. Do your own research. Don't be scared. Not everybody who's peeling up a price tag is a flipper who's looking to make a profit. Some people are just looking to see what that brand is or if it's their pattern. So if it looks interesting to you, if it looks like it's going to be something that you could make money on, just because that price tag is peeled up doesn't mean you shouldn't look it up for yourself.
Oh, my God, I love that idea.
Yeah, that's great. I would have never thought of that. That's a great tip. Thank you.
Because I usually stroll on when I see that somebody's peeled it, but maybe I'll stop and look a little harder now.
I think we get jaded in thinking that everybody who enters Goodwill is selling stuff on eBay, and some people just want cute, cheap dishes. Some people want to replace Grandma's, creamer that their drunk Aunt Susie broke at Christmas. They're not all looking for the reasons that we're looking. So you have to really do your own research. And two, there's value even in an item you're going to put back on the shelf, because you're going to say, okay, I looked up, Susie's Ceramics, this is junk. The next time you see Susie's Ceramic when you have to make a snap decision, like at a yard sale, you're going to know Susie's Ceramics doesn't sell. So there's still value in doing that.
Yes.
All right, now it is time for our... You've got to be shipping me, our shipping tips. And so usually I like to show mistakes, because I buy a lot and I get broken stuff, crappy ship stuff. But today I want to share some love with my assistant, who even impressed me. So we sold a pair of jeans today, and I have another pair by the same manufacturer. Let me pop my earphone on here for a sec. These are size 66 waist.
That in itself is amazing.
Yeah, by 33. So that's a lot of denim. And he was able to get it in a flat rate mailer. 60, and actually the ones we sold today were 68. So those I just showed you were 66. So I will show you a picture of him. It took two things. It took some ingenuity in folding, and it took a little muscle. So here is the finished product. He turned that 68 by 33 jeans into a $5.35 shipping package across the country. So
that's great.
That is a tip. You should be using your padded flat rates for everything you can get into them.
Absolutely. That's great.
That's amazing.
All right, Joy, what you got?
A confession. So here's my "Are you shipping me?" confession, is that I'm a terrible shipper. And my tip for you, whether you're a new seller or you've been selling for a while, is to learn to ship properly. Learn to plan ahead. Figure out how you're going to ship things before you list them, because inevitably they're going to sell before you're prepared. And you do not want to be like me. You do not want to be at the all-night Walmart trying to buy a box to put something in where it doesn't fit. You don't know how to Frankenbox. You're paying retail for your bubble wrap. You know, honestly, I will confess that until a couple of months ago, I was still paying retail for bubble wrap. And now I buy it on the internet in big bales like this, much cheaper than I was paying, you know, for it at Walmart, and they bring it to my door. And the number one thing that I've lost money at doing this over the years is being ill-prepared to ship. I don't know what stuff's going to cost. I list it with free shipping, and then I find out that I've cut my profit down to almost nothing because I had no idea what it was going to cost me to ship it. So figure out your shipping before you list it. Learn about regional boxes. Don't pay retail for your packing supplies.
So I'm going to actually do a little live on-air demonstration. One of our many friends in Thrifting with the Boys mailed me something. It was her first record purchase and her first record to mail. So I said, do you mind if I open it on the air? Because it looks pretty good. This is pretty impressive. And she said, no. So she said, you're going to make fun of me? I go, based on how well this looks, I don't think so. So I, across the hall from where I'm sitting right now, I have one of our guest bedrooms, and it is themed the movie and play South Pacific. And hanging on the walls, I have 57 different South Pacific records. And she found one I didn't have. So I was like, oh my God, I must have that. I think I said it just like that too. So, all right, so far so good. I cannot get it open. Let me tell you, the tape on here is amazing. This is, if you remember the glass ashtray I got a couple weeks ago, this puts it to shame by a mile. Oh my gosh! And my scissors are in the other room because my assistant was cutting tags off, and he didn't bring it back. So he'll be getting yelled at tomorrow. Always return the scissors to the office, as a rule in this household. Hey Jason, enjoy the album Sabrina. All right, Sabrina, so far so good. So I'm gonna slide it out. All right, nice bubble wrap. Wow. She was worried she did overkill, and it got to me in one piece. So if that's the case, then it's never overkill. And I really wouldn't change a whole lot. She did a great job. Oh yeah, that was absolutely beautiful. And I'll show you what I'm so excited to get. Boom. I have never seen this one. So to have 57 hanging up and have one you've never seen, that's pretty impressive.
It's great.
And good job, Sabrina. I know you're watching. That was awesome. Good job on your first one. Let's get the rest of your records sold.
That's a good follow-up from Bobby last week, too, because he was explaining about shipping records. So
yeah, and she's new to it. So she was like, I don't know what I'm doing. And that was great. What a great
That is
first
great,
one.
yeah. Good job.
All righty. So now we have our... two-minute topic of the week. And Nay is going to participate, so you're actually going to get 3 minutes instead of 2 this week. Ta-da! Something different. All right, so let's get this off. Let me get the timer in the window here. All right, where are we? There we go. Oops, I want to get really close. Burp, burp. There we go. All right, so... Oh, I should have read it out loud. How do you process, organize items from purchase to inventory? So you buy the crap, you buy the treasures, you get it home, and what do you do from that point? So you got 60 seconds. We're going to let our guest go first. So I'm popping Joy onto the big screen, and let me get ready to start it. And you are off, Joy. Go.
As a general rule, I list everything as soon as I bring it home. When I unpack my bags, I take my price tags off, I take my pictures, I put it all away. Then I can list from the app anytime I want. I don't have to put things away. When I'm thrifting and I look something up and I say, okay, this is what it sells for, what I do is I say sell similar. I change that price if it's not quite what I want it to be, and I save as a draft. Then when I've come home and I've taken those pictures, when I've unpacked my bags, I have the template loaded for my listing. And that way everything gets listed 24 to 48 hours after I bring it home. Unlisted inventory costs you money. It's not about the money you're going to make. It's about the money you've spent, the money that you've paid out to buy that inventory. You can't pay the light bill with it. You can't buy groceries with it. You got to move that merchandise. And so the quickest way to do that is not to let it pile up until you have 6 months of purchases laying around and you don't know where to start. So list it.
Now, Nay, she hit 55 seconds just for you.
Okay.
I made a point. I said, if I'm going to be Nay's stunt double, I'm bringing it in at 55 seconds.
All right, Nay, I'm going to put you next. So here we go.
So before Jason was in Philly twice and I went thrifting with him, I was listing everything right away. What I usually do is when I bring home my purchases, I put the unlisted inventory in. I have these red dollar store bins. They're just like the fold-up fabric kind. Now, however, I have several bags that aren't listed with me being in the hospital and all the thrifting I've done recently. So, but what I like to do is take my pictures first, and then I literally take my pictures, put them in separate folders on my PC. Sometimes what I do when I list patterns and whatnot, I will list them on mobile and just do the picture as I'm going along. But with other things, I do edit the pictures a little. So ideally, I like to have 2 bins full, and that's it. Everything else is listed. However, right now I have several bags. Once I get them listed from the bins, they go into Rubbermaid storage containers, and that's it.
What? My buzzer stopped working. There we go.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. So
my buzzer stopped working. What the hell?
But Joy is right. It's best to get everything listed as soon as possible.
All right. I have a whole different thing. So here we go. Okay, I'm different because I buy way too much. I have 2 storage units down the street, 10 by 10, both of them. One is full of product. If I ever didn't pay my bill, you would be like, "Holy cow!" And if it went to auction, you'd be like, "Oh my God, this is amazing stuff," because everything's labeled, and that's the key. I buy so much stuff that when I come home to sort it out, I got bags and bags and bags and bags and bags, and I have all these tubs lined up. And so I have a denim or pants tub. I have a Hawaiian shirt tub. I have a T-shirt tub. I have a ladies' clothes tub. I have plush, all these. So I will just sit on the couch with all my bags on my lap, and as I enter them into the database of what I paid for them, I just chuck them in that tub. And once they're in the tubs, then I stack them all up. If my assistant doesn't have anything to work on tomorrow, I give him 1 tub, and the rest go to storage unit, and I kind of get them into my shelf. So I buy a lot. I got a lot to sell, but it's all ready to go, so it's easy to go grab a tub, give it to my assistant, and tell him, "Here, sell this." All right, 1 minute. Woo! That was awesome. And being the 4th of July, and I grew up in the country, I also like shitty light American beer, so cheers. Here's a Bud Light. All right, we are a little over, so let's get to our guest. Our guest tonight is a good friend of mine. She is known as the Pudgy Picker. She is Jennie Hess, and I am looking for... There we go. Well, hello. Where is Jennie? Let's bring her on here.
Hello.
There she is. What's happening, Jen? How are you?
Not much. Just enjoying the weather.
And now, okay, so Jennie's a hometown Cleveland girl. I'm from Cleveland. She's from Cleveland. How's the weather today? Because I know it has sucked lately.
Well, we stopped raining, and at least we have like mid-60s. Today it barely hit 70, so
oh my God,
great day to be garage selling.
It was a 108 here today.
Wow. No, thank you.
So, for those who don't know, Jen has her own YouTube channel. She's known as the Pudgy Picker on YouTube. It's funny, when I say your name, people get all like, they're thinking I'm calling you Pudgy. I'm like, no, she calls herself Pudgy. I wouldn't. I'm a big fluffy fella. I would never, ever do that. But
no, Pudgy, I'm good. I answer to that.
Jen does her own YouTube videos. She does a lot of haul videos. She goes to garage sales, thrift stores, and auctions mainly are her big 3, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
And so we're going to jump into your scores and duds, but Joy and I watched a lot of your videos today, so we have some questions, and I think Nate does too. So, but let's jump into your scores. We want to share what awesomeness that you have been selling, and this first one's kind of funny. and I'll tell you why. So before you go into talking about it, I'm watching like your April video, and I knew this was your score because you sent me the link, and I heard a cuckoo clock in one of your April videos, and I'm thinking, does she have a lot of cuckoo clocks, or is it this cuckoo clock?
I actually bought one at an auction about a month and a half before this one, and it was very similar to one my grandmother had, so I had to keep that one. I only paid $25. That one works fine. This one I got at a garage sale for $7. It was in a box in pieces, so you're not sure what you're going to get when you see it. It was a cold day, it was kind of raining, and the lady was just like practically ready to pay me to carry stuff out the door. And she said, how about 10? And her husband looked at her and said, 10? And I said, yeah, I'll think about it. And I kept looking, and when I went up to pay for a couple other items, she said 7. And her husband's like, are you sure? She goes, I'm sick of looking at it. And I said, okay, I'll take it. So, yeah, I accepted an offer of $250 this morning. And it was perfect timing because I was going to be on the show.
But I watched a lot of your videos today. You needed to fix this a little bit, didn't you?
I had a little experience from getting the one that I kept. There's a lot of YouTube videos on how to adjust the time. This one had a few issues. Physically, condition, beautiful. Everything worked. The time was perfect. There is a second door on it that would not stay closed, and I wasn't sure because it wasn't really doing anything as time went on. So it does have a few issues with it, but the timing is good, the weights. It's got to be on the wall straight. There's reasons it'll stop working, and so I was very happy. When you get in a box and it's in pieces, you're not sure. Even if it was completely not working, it still would have sold for at least $100 to $150.
And what's great is, and through a lot of your videos, you can hear it cuckooing in the background. So, and now it's going to a new home.
Yeah, my cat hated it.
I want to pause real quick. I want to thank our live audience. We have our largest live audience we've ever had. And
I'll take credit for that.
Hey, like I always tell Nay, I go, I don't care if people are watching just because they hate me. As long as you're watching, that's all I care about. We got 130 people watching, so thank you very much. Do me a favor, though. Click the like button down below. We got one hater.
That's your hater, Jason. That's not mine.
Oh, I'm sure it is. So give us some love and click that like button. If you see my name down below, you can click subscribe because that'll let you know when we're doing other videos. Obviously, we do our show every week, but Nay and I are going to start doing haul videos like you saw last week. And we have a fun idea, which I'll talk about at the end of the show. So remind me to talk about that. And we're going to go back to your score. So let me hop back over here. And we'll move on from the cuckoo clock to, I see, Mary Kay cologne.
This was in a box of other Mary Kay products. It had a receipt in the box with all the merchandise. Everything's still new in the box. And it was from like 1989. So as soon as I pulled it out, I knew most of the cream and those type of products were going to have to be tossed. But I know that the old perfume and cologne does well. I had at least 4 or 5 that are in there, and I've sold at least 2 so far. And I paid $12 for the whole box.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
People love the old cologne, and they have a scent they liked, and they are constantly looking for it. So that was definitely a good one.
So let me ask you a question. Since you sell a lot of, it sounds like you sell a lot of old colognes.
Yep.
I have had horrible luck with Avon. Anything Avon that I see now, I don't touch with a 10-foot pole. Do you agree with that, or have you sold any Avon?
No, I do not. I have not. In fact, today when I was garage sailing, I saw a whole bunch of it. Even the collector's edition or special decanters.
I learned that lesson early on. I was just wondering if you had had any luck. So
no, if you got anything that's probably, I would say, 60s-ish, some of the scents from back then, not even in a fancy bottle, I would take a chance. But in the last probably 20, 30 years, don't bother. Don't bother.
Okay, so I'm on target with that. It's not my listings. It's Avon.
No, it's definitely, that's something I never touch.
Okay.
Can I just ask you?
Avon calling. There you go.
Can I just ask a quick question about that? Do you find that you get a lot of returns if the scent has turned over the years, if it wasn't, stored properly, or?
This particular batch I knew was essentially the person ordered it, it came in a box, and it was shoved somewhere in their house. So, but I always do write on there, be aware this is from this date. I cannot guarantee, the color, the consistency, the scent. And a lot of people are willing to take a risk on that. Like I said, some of those creams, they were like petrified in the bottle, so a lot of that I did toss away. So
I have one more question too, actually. When you ship like the perfumes and colognes and whatnot, do you always ship them parcel? Because I've heard that they can't go via any type of airmail. Is that true? Because I don't sell a lot of that stuff, so I
don't think any of the ones that I've sold have gone. They've been in the United States, and usually depending on how heavy the bottle is, they can usually sometimes go for first class. These ones are large, and I make sure I bubble wrap them and use the cardboard and everything, so there's no issue with them breaking. But
okay,
yeah,
so you
but
still do first class and priority on those?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Can I interject there just for a second, Nate? Technically,
Sure.
If the perfume has alcohol in it, the U.S. Postal Service prohibits you from shipping it in any manner that isn't
That's
parcel
right.
select.
I was wondering about.
Yeah, it's not supposed to go priority in particular. First class, I am not going to lie, first class, if it's going to the next town over, it's not going on a plane. But the reason that they do that is because it's alcohol and it goes on a plane. So the post office regulation is that it should be parcel select. So
that's what I thought, but
Okay.
we're not fans of that method of shipping.
To risk it,
Yeah.
Okay, no, that's good information. I'm always learning, so that's good.
We all
And, the side note, can I just throw one more thing in? If you sell a lot of perfumes, is the second part of that regulation is that there's a 16-ounce weight limit, and it's one bottle of perfume per package. And this actually happened to me recently. I had sold some 1-ounce bottles, and she had bought multiples. And when the postal clerk found out that there was more than one bottle, even though the number of bottles was still under 16 ounces, they wouldn't take the package. It's one bottle per package.
Okay.
See all the learning you're getting, Jen?
Yeah.
Do you tape the
It's
lids?
like the one shipping thing that I know.
Do you tape the lids down too? Do you do anything to secure the lids?
Usually, if I wrap it with bubble wrap really good, it's not really an issue for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We are off perfume, and we are on to what looks like a Canon lens.
Well, I must give credit to my son for this one. This was at a garage sale, and my son's really been picking up a lot of camera equipment. This one was marked $35, brand new in the box. He offered him $30, and of course, with his gorgeous baby blue eyes, they said yes. And the lady said, I don't know why anybody wants those anymore. We got the cell phones. We don't need those. And sure enough, it sold very quickly for $190, buyer paid shipping.
Very nice.
I'm training them good.
All right, so that was your scores, right? Oh, wait, this is score 2. Yes, sorry.
Yeah, a lot of these wood-burned charger plates, depending on where they come from. This one I actually got at a outlet. I think it was a Salvation Army type of outlet, so I paid next to nothing for it. It was Polish. I guess that's what it was, and I did some research and found out that's what it was. And I believe I sold it for like $30. So.
All right, so let us know, what is a charger plate?
That was my question as well.
A charger plate is essentially when you go to a fancy restaurant and they have a wooden plate or a larger plate underneath your dinner plate. That's called a charger plate.
Oh.
So,
see, we're learning shit tonight, too. This is awesome.
Yeah, I wouldn't have known.
Yeah.
Because when I saw this come up, I'm like, I don't know what the hell that is.
No, I've never eaten off of a plate on a charger plate, so yeah, that's something I learned along the way.
All right, so there's your scores. Now on to your duds.
You see a calculator that is not a plain calculator in a package, and you start grabbing them. I have, I believe, 3 of these. This is a scientific calculator. It is not a graphing calculator. You can get a graphing calculator that, if it works great, but the condition looks like somebody played hockey with it, people will still buy it. In a new one package, it'll really do great. This is just a plain scientific calculator. Do your research. If it's not a graphing one, don't really waste your time on it. And it even says top selling product underneath the title, and I would never believe that since I haven't sold any of the 3 that I bought.
Top selling product for maybe everyone but you. So
but
sorry.
me, yes, I know.
All right, and then cross-stitch stuff usually does well for a lot of us. This one not so much, huh?
You know what? You have to be really careful about if you have any outlet type places that sell a lot of overstock or that type of product. This is a newer kit, good brand. It's not older. It's and it was at a discount type store in my area, and that's usually a red flag that they're blowing them out, and it's just saturated the market. So, unless it's something older or more intricate, I'm really don't waste my time with those now.
I'd like to do a quick shout out to one of our members in our group who's asking me a question right now. Are you not watching me on the show? What the heck? I'm going to yell. He probably isn't watching, so I will definitely yell at him later. I'm like, who doesn't know we do a show at 6 p.m. or 9 p.m. depending where you're at? Holy cow. All right, so all 3 of us have some questions for you. I have a question because I watched a bunch of your episodes today.
Okay.
I would never think fondue forks would be a hot commodity on their own.
On their own, yes. If you get some of the fondue sets, if they're older and they're actually like in a box or brand new, maybe. Those fondue forks that I picked up were from, I believe, the 60s. They had the wooden handle and still in the box. The lady had that and an old fondue pot for $5. And I said, can I buy those separate? She said, no, it's all one item. And I said, I'll give you 3 for the fork. She said, okay. So I got those. They are going to be listed soon, but I know, strange things. I just sold some wooden handle utensils today, flatware that has that 50s look. So I don't know. It's just the wooden handles. They always seem to do really well.
Do you do a lot of flatware sales?
I'm just starting to get into flatware. This particular bag I bought at a garage sale for $4, and I've had it lotted out into 4 different pieces, $12.99 for 3 different ones, and then the one I sold today was $35. That was a 4-place setting. So I'm just starting to, the more I learn in this business, the less I know. And there's so much to know that I'm kind of, inching into knives and inching into flatware, and, then I'm not, there's more to look at wherever I go. So.
And then I can't remember what episode it was, but you found a piece of maybe pressed bamboo that said tiki toss on it. Did you ever figure out what it was?
Yes, I did. I did my research, and it is a toss game that was missing the pin that was supposed to be in there. And if it had that, it would have been worth a lot. Otherwise, it was a cutting board. That's what it looked like.
All right.
It was a cutting board shaped like a surfboard.
And so somebody asked a question which leads into one of mine. They want to know how you get to so many garage sales in a day. And what I wanted to point out is I've been gone from Cleveland since for 15 years now. I forget there's Thursday garage sales because we don't really have them here. And your hauls are all from Thursdays. And I forget that Thursday is the day in Cleveland.
Wow.
Yeah, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, maybe Sunday. I like to be there first day. I get a local paper, and I go on Craigslist. Those are my 2 main sources for garage sales. I sit down with that list, and I get my GPS, and I start putting them in, and then I have them all listed. And the next morning, my son and I, especially this summer, get in the car. We head to the far end and start working our way back home. Today was kind of a skinny day because I think of the holiday. I only went to 22 garage sales.
Oh my goodness.
I think my record was a day last summer, and it was, I think, 46 or 48.
Oh my goodness.
And that was
crazy.
the question. Somebody wants to know, how do you get to so many? Now, I remember Cleveland, and you could get to a lot because they're there. Now, what happens in Vegas is people say, I'm having a garage sale. And Vegas is a 24-hour town. They party all night. You drive all the way across the city, and there's no garage sale because they were too busy partying the night before. But
hate
Cleveland, that does not happen. If they say they're having it, they are having it. But how do you get to 40-some in a day?
We start early, and it's funny, too, they don't even open early around here. They usually open at 9 o'clock. So we're out of the door by about 8:45, and we just start hitting them in order. And, you know, I know what I'm looking for. I don't take a lot of time. I go up, I look around, make a decision, back in the car, on to the next one. And where I live, and about 20 minutes away, that's the area that I go. So, you know, one of the towns has a huge cluster of garage sales. And then if you hit a street sale, that's like a bonus. Or you get a development sale, that's all the better.
Yeah, I was going to say you must really have a strategy down pat to be able to do that many in a day. You know, as far as, you know, like someone asked about our thrifting, strategy, like what sections do we hit and whatnot. So obviously you know your way around a garage sale, and you do that. You must have a certain.
Yeah, knowing the area that you're in is good. I know when I put things in the GPS, it'll tell you, okay, one is 1.5 miles and one is 1.7, but they're in opposite directions. So I've really kind of perfected it that I know basically where the streets are, because when I'm driving back and forth and I'm going past the same streets, that's kind of frustrating. But it's funny. I mean, I meet so many of the same people since I've been doing this so long. And I'll see them, and they'll say, "Oh, you were at my garage sale last year." Or, I had a lady stop me getting into the car last week, and she said hi. And I'm thinking, how does she know me from the antique mall? And she said, "You were at my garage sale last week." So I was like, "Oh, hi, how you doing?" So you got to be nice out there and be kind, because you're going to meet the same people over and over again.
Yeah.
Do you source just mainly garage sales, or do you do thrifting as well?
Garage sales are my mainstay in the summer.
Okay. What about estate sales too?
Yeah, estate sales, if they're not professionally run, and even then you could still get some deals, because the people even who run professional estate sales, they don't know everything. There's a lot of things they kind of leave out. So I do estate sales all year. When the weather gets cold and nobody's doing garage sales, I'll do thrifting.
Okay.
Check Craigslist, and
Craigslist, that's a good
even
one.
my own antique mall. I'll go in and find things that people don't know how much they're worth, so I can get a few scores there. And auctions. So I do a lot of auctioning too.
Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't ventured into auctions yet.
That's a real hit and miss. Sometimes you go and you're like, this is great, and then other times you go and you're thinking, there's so many things I could be doing right now other than sitting here. But yeah, I mean, you just don't know. It's a surprise every time you go.
Do you sell any clothing, or is it all mostly collectibles? And
a lot of things that I do clothing-wise, I'll do leather jackets. I have a couple fur coats. I've done a couple mink stoles. I've sold those in my antique booth. Nobody wants those at the auction. I usually get them for $5, and I've sold 2 in the past month for about $35 a piece. They're gross. They're weird. They give you the willies, but hey, they're making money, and I'm all for that.
All right, Joy, you watched some of her videos today. You got questions?
I did. I actually have 2 questions. The first is, you mentioned in that same in the video about where you hit the multiple garage sales in one day. You said, just in passing, you said, "You know me in colanders, and this will be great in my booth." And I was just wondering, can you tell us a little bit? Are colanders something we should be on the lookout for? Is there something?
They sell pretty good in my antique booth. They're also good for display in my antique booth. But there's a few things, and I know every reseller has this, there's a few things you're always drawn to, even if they don't necessarily bring you a lot of money. And I love colanders. Don't know why. Reminds me of my grandma, I think, is a big part of it. Antique photos, things like that. Whenever I see them, I just love digging through them. So I always do really good with colanders, and I've got probably 3 or 4 in my house, and it's like I don't need any more. So as soon as I get them, like I said, they're great for display in an antique booth. So.
Okay. And the other question I have is Jason and I were talking about this the other day, because he sells a lot of T-shirts. He finds a lot of great concert T-shirts. A lot of people do, and I have my thrifting partner in crime, Christine, and I always say, we never find good T-shirts. We don't find concert T-shirts. We don't sell T-shirts because we just don't run across them. And so Jason and I were talking the other day. Is this a geographical thing? We're Midwest girls. Do you run across a lot of those?
I don't know what it is about our area, but there are some thrift stores that look like someone worked on their car. And then, like, it ripped as they were taking it off, and they donated it. So I don't know, that it must be a regional thing, but I don't do really well on T-shirts. I always look, but I don't know. One of these days I'll be shocked and find something great. But
yeah, I really think it's a regional thing because we do it all. We do bag sales and we do garage sales and we do thrifting and we do all these things. We just don't see them. I mean, we see junk. Basically.
No, they're sad looking. They really are. I mean, some of them, they look like somebody was helping with the birth of a calf or something. It's like, oh,
yeah, so it's not good stuff.
Wow, descriptive. A birth of a calf.
Yeah.
When you come to Chicago, Jay, we are going to go on a fact-finding mission about these T-shirts because the things that you see in our stores here in our garage sales, like, you don't even want to touch them long enough to check the price on them, even if you were thinking about reselling them. They're just not good.
No, it's something I don't even look in usually. I just kind of pass it by, and I always, every time I hear people selling them, I'm like, well, maybe I should look again, and then I look, go.
You think you're missing out, but we're really not. And I told Jason the other day, I said, the only concert T-shirts that we find here are ones that nobody would admit to having gone to the concert anyway. The show is bad. The band is embarrassing.
All right, you want some admission? I saw Milli Vanilli in concert. Okay, there you go. There's your admission for the night.
Wow.
And
I love Milli Vanilli.
They were
that comes on the radio, I turn it up and I sing it loud and proud. So.
Real quick, we're a little bit over the hour mark, and we're not going to go 2 hours like last week, but we still got tons of people live, and Jen is awesome. So I'm going to tell the people in the chat, if you've got a question for Jen, throw in the chat. We'll ask her a few questions from you guys because we've kind of covered the things that we want to talk about. So throw in the chat. And while we're waiting for some questions, I want to say a couple things. I'm going to be in Cleveland. I'm going to lead some classes coming up around the country. So I will be in Cleveland August 13th leading the class. So if you're seeing this, you're the first to hear about it. Hit me up. I can only take about 10 or 12 people. So drop me a message on Facebook. It'll be Thursday morning. So I know you're going to be garage sailing, Jen, but I'm leaving.
Oh, I'm garage sailing. Sorry.
We'll meet for lunch because I'm going to be out. We'll be on the west side of town. Also, in 2 weeks, I'm going to be in Orlando and Tampa. I'm doing a class in Orlando near Disney World, and I'm doing a class in Tampa. So Thursday the 15th of July maybe, and then Friday, whatever the Friday is, in Tampa. So if you're seeing this, hit me up. You can be one of the first ones to sign up. Facebook/TikiPug. That is me. And I got people saying, come here, come there. Look, I would love to come everywhere where everyone lives. I can't do that. But when I travel, I always throw a class. I got to go home. My wife is turning 50. I know she looks a lot younger than that, but we're throwing a big party for her in Cleveland, so I'm going to have a class. I'm doing the Scam Power Conference in Orlando, and then I'm hanging out in Tampa with some friends. So we're doing a class in Orlando, then I'm hopping over to Tampa to have a class. So those are the classes coming up. Somebody says Pudgy has the best theme song opening, so good job on. Let's talk about your daughter. I gotta give her some shit. I'm gonna do it publicly now.
Oh, she's really been a big help. You know how inept I am with technology. It's terrible.
Yeah, I will admit you are. But let me say, if you saw the interview that we did, Jen and I, we were at a local dive bar in Chardon, my hometown. It is a bar that I've been a regular at since I was 16 years old. I am sorry, Mom and Dad. And so I've always hung out there, and Jen wanted to interview me. So she came out and met me. We interviewed.
It was loud.
It was loud, but true to Chardon drunken fashion, some girl who I don't know leaned in and hugged me and went, I want to be on TV, and she hugged me. And Jen's daughter cut that out of the video. When I watched the interview, I go, that was the money shot. Now, we all know what the money shot is. If you've watched adults' videos, you know what the money shot. That's the payoff. The payoff
I'm gonna have her get it, and I'm gonna put it in a video then, just so everybody can see.
That's what I'm talking about. She cut that out. That was the best part because it was so perfect and unscripted. That was the best part.
And that was early in the evening, too.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I'll have her dig that up, and I'll do. She's like, "Oh, I can't believe that. You should have interviewed somewhere else." I'm like, "Look, he's in town for a certain amount of time. You got to take what you can get, you know." So.
And I got good friends. I never said, "Hey, I needed a drink," but my friend Greg saw I was empty and went and bought me a beer. So when you watch that interview, that beer coming in was not scheduled. It was not ordered. It just showed up.
Yep, beer delivery.
And look, I was catching some heat in the chat. My wife is way older than me, and she looks way younger. So I'm not going to catch any hell. She does not look 50, and I look way older than 44. So.
And she's pocket-sized.
Yeah, she is tiny. And I wanted to say, Jen, thanks for the. I was watching one of the videos. You gave me a nice shout out, so thank you. You found that cute little pug figurine.
Wasn't that adorable?
And not that your normal talking voice isn't pleasant, but man, you have the most pleasant garage sale haul voice I have ever heard. It is so nice to listen to you.
Well, thank you. I'll have to tell my husband you said so. I've been on YouTube for 2 years, and it's taken a little time to get used to that, hearing myself talk, you know, so I've gotten more comfortable with it over time. I mean, my first couple videos, it's like, it's just such a difference now.
My wife is now yelling at me in chat. I'm not way older. Look, here's how I put it in perspective. She is old enough to be grandfathered into the drinking age when it changed to 21. She was grandfathered in, she could drink younger. So she was bar hopping in college, and I was still a fat kid playing kickball at recess in middle school. All right? So there's your perspective.
Oh, you're going to be in so much trouble. Is there going to be a show next week, or are you going to be, like, wrapped up in bandages? That's terrible.
All right, so we didn't get really any questions from the chat. Everybody's enjoying the show, and we got some nice comments. So anything, Nadine or Joy, you want to ask Jen?
I don't have any more questions that I can think of right now, but I just want to say that you were an awesome guest, and thank you for so much great information.
Thank you. I tell you, there's so much to learn, and I've learned so much by being on YouTube. It's really an education. Years ago, I thought YouTube was just a channel for people getting like hit in the crotch and stuff like that. Now I'm like, wow, that's really valuable stuff. And whenever I tell my kids' friends that I have a YouTube channel, oh, they just go like this. It's so funny. And I said, hey, there's worse things I could be doing on YouTube than haul videos from garage sales.
So speaking of, Nadine and I did a haul video last week where I showed my haul and Nadine kind of commentated on it. And obviously we all know Nadine just had surgery, so she will not be out thrifting tomorrow, that's for damn sure.
No, it's going to be a little bit.
But we had an idea. So besides doing our hauls, we're going to do your hauls. So here's the deal. We want to do at least one a week. If you had a good haul, come to us, let us know. You'll be our guest for the haul video, and then we will commentate and color commentary your good and maybe your bad purchases. So if you want to be in our haul video, we'd love to have you. Anyone, bring your haul, message me or Nay or on our fan page. Oh, yeah.
That's one of my items I got today.
See, if you were doing a haul video, I'd be like, nice score.
$4. So how much do you think I should ask for this, huh?
Well, you got to measure that diameter because I know that's how they sell them. And once you figure out what the diameter is, then just look at the solds on eBay because that'll give you a clue.
It's like basketball size.
So hit us up. Let's do your haul videos. But, hey, I do have a question for you, Jen. Let me back it up here. What is your favorite thing to sell? And what do you think is the best bolo for both? And I'm not sure what that word's supposed to be. What do you think the best thing to find for eBay? And what's your favorite thing to sell? Go.
Favorite thing to sell? Something that makes lots of money. I like, the stranger, the weirder it is, the better it sells. I bought somebody made an armadillo purse. And I bought it at a garage sale for $25, and I sold it for like $30. So the stranger, when you go to a garage sale and you look at something and you go, who would buy that? That's what you should buy. That's what
a
you
good
should
tip.
buy, because because
Yeah, that's a good tip.
and you don't worry about, you put it on eBay. Oh, well, there's 50 other ones on there. So, yeah,
Obscure sells, definitely.
and the weirder the better. Is if it's strange,
Absolutely.
that is definitely the way to go.
Ugly too, surprisingly.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
Hey, Joy, if you fill in again, you need to get a quieter keyboard.
Okay,
Everybody's like, Nay's typing really loud. I go, Nay ain't typing. That's Joy.
that's Joy.
Hey, Jen, I got a question. You ever find adult products while you're out?
I actually was at an auction. I even tweeted a picture on the Pudgy Picker, if you want to follow me on Twitter, and it was probably a 1960s device that required batteries.
Okay.
I'm digging through the box and I'm like, oh! So I took a picture of it and I tweeted that, and I'm like, you never know what you're going to find. So when Grandma has her estate go up for sale, maybe you shouldn't be there when it's auctioned off because you don't want to see everything.
Gosh, that's hysterical.
Grandma's sexual devices. I got bad thoughts in my head right now.
And about 2 weeks ago, there was a huge 6 full boxes of DVD porn, and one of the other vendors purchased that, and he paid maybe $30 for 6 huge boxes, and he was so razzed it wasn't even funny. But it sells. He's going to make a lot of money. There are things that I won't buy, that being one of them, but he's going to make a lot of money off of those.
It sells.
So
I haven't sold any either, but I know it does sell.
I was just standing there reading the titles with my sister. We're just laughing. It was so funny.
I'm going to show a picture here. It's kind of adultish, but I will cover up the naughty bits. Nadine and I were at a flea market in Philly, and these two Blu-rays, here, let me put myself on the screen. These two Blu-rays were next to each other, Tittylicious and Bambi.
Yes. They were literally sitting right next to each other. It was,
wow.
yes, it was very
Two
ironic.
ends of the spectrum there.
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Mommy, can I have Tittylicious? No, you're getting Bambi.
Oh, I'm sure there's a porn out there called Bambi. I would almost
I'm
guarantee
sure.
it.
Probably.
I think so, probably.
Since we're speaking of porn, if you ever come visit me, there's porn from the 70s that they did, children's stories. They're full musicals and full porn. I have Snow White and Cinderella. So they are singing the songs, and it's full porn. It's crazy.
Oh my
I had
God.
this little Red Riding Hood just like popped into my head. Thanks. I gotta mentally erase that now.
I gotta say, I've loved all my shows, but having a hometown girl on is extra special to me.
Yep, not too far from your mama, so you got to come home and see her and when you come in August.
Thank you
I
for
got to
being
go
our
garage
guest.
sailing with her. That would be fun.
Oh yeah, Mom and Dad love to get up and go out. So yeah, if they're not babysitting grandchildren, you guys should definitely do a Thursday pick together.
Yeah, we should.
Thank you for being our guest, and Joy, you were a great stunt double. Thank you very much for covering for me tonight. I was not feeling well enough to do the whole show. I'm glad I made it to sit in.
Yes.
It was so great to see you, and we still got a lot of people watching live, and they're talking about dirty different titles for Bambi. So that's great.
I started something. I apologize.
No, I asked you because on the show I found Japanese love ropes at Savers, and I sold them, and I thought, I wonder if Jenny ever finds any adult stuff.
Yeah, I do. There's some things I got a teenage boy. You think I'm going to bring home 6 boxes of porn from the auction?
Oh my God.
That is
He's
not
happy.
happening. Oh, he's going to hate me for saying that, but hey,
You do have, I have not officially met them. I saw your son tonight, but based on you talking about them, you got some great kids.
Yeah, I'm a little biased, but they're really good kids, and my son is really taken into the buying and reselling, and that's his summer job this year. So he did it last year too, and he's it's forced time with mom, so I couldn't ask for anything better.
Just tell your daughter to quit cutting out the money shots, because that was the winner shot right there.
I'm gonna make her put that in a video now.
I got to see that because I know it's going to be hilarious. Because hey, that's my hometown. I expected that, and I hoped it happened, and it did. All right, so we're going to call tonight. So thank you, Jen. Don't hang up. We'll talk with you a little bit after we come off the air.
Okay.
So thank you very much. Go follow the Pudgy Picker on YouTube. She is the bomb diggity. She's a sweet, sweet woman, and she loves to share like the rest of us do. I want to thank Joy for being our Nadine stunt double tonight, even though you can't read it. She was her stunt double. She did a great job. So thank you, Nadine.
Awesome.
Thank you for asking me.
I can't say enough about my partner who sat here the whole show, fresh out of surgery.
She's a rock star. She's an absolute rock star.
Thank you.
So,
I just wanted to prove that cancer is not going to get me down. It's not going to stop me from doing anything.
hell no.
No.
And I want to promote a couple things. We have a fan page, Thrifty Business with J&A. We are raising money. We have already done it. We're going to do it some more for breast cancer research. We want to end breast cancer. So we actually have a page specifically for Thrifty Business with J&A.
I'm so excited about it.
Stacy and I, my wife, are sending the first $1,000 to it, so that went out today. And we're going to put it up. We're going to do some more fun stuff. So it's not going to be just raise money. It's going to be contests. It's going to be shenanigans. It's going to be fun. But overall, we're going to raise money to hopefully someday that $1 is going to be the dollar that makes somebody go, I know how to fix cancer.
I don't want other women to have to go through what I am. It's not fun.
So make sure you like our page. Follow me on YouTube. Look right down here. Click on follow. Please give us a thumbs up if you don't like the show. If you don't like, or if you like the show, what? I'm not even drunk yet. Thumbs up if you like it. If you don't like it, you give us a thumbs down. That's cool. I like haters too, but tell us. If you didn't like something, tell us why. But based on the love tonight, I think everybody's having a fun time enjoying the show. We're having great guests. We're having a great time. We all love sharing. So thanks everyone for tuning in. And we have an awesome guest next week. We actually have our guest set up. So let me promote that. I have a good friend, good friend named Cambridge who works at a Savers. So we're going to have our first live thrift store employee as our guest, and she'll be sitting right here next to me.
She is awesome. Yeah, she's going to be a great guest.
So next week, tune in. You can ask a thrift store employee questions. If you're the shy, quiet type who never speaks up and says, hey, how you doing? You never know when you're going to get into a back room or get some extra special deals. So Cambridge will be here next week. Get your questions ready, and we will talk to her. So on behalf of me, Jen the Pudgy Picker, Nadine, and Joy, thank you, everyone, and have a wonderful evening.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.